It was the phone that made big phones a thing. The phone that brought back the stylus. The phone that kept Samsung superfans spending top dollar year after year. But the bigger and more powerful Samsung made its Galaxy S smartphones, well, the harder it was for the Galaxy Note to stand out. And once folding phones started sliding into that super premium position, complete with an S Pen in the latest generation, well, you could say the writing was on the wall. After 2020, the Galaxy Note would be no more. But for those who still prefer their phones without a hinge, those who missed an S Pen that came with somewhere to put it, and those who prefer an assertive, squared-off design, it was too soon to say goodbye. And apparently, Samsung agrees.
It is literally a note.
I'm Michael Fisher, and the Galaxy Note is dead. Long live the Galaxy Ultra. Yes, Note fans, it turns out all you have to mourn is a brand name. The Galaxy S22 Ultra, for all intents and purposes, is the next Galaxy Note. A sheer-sided chassis with crisp, bold angles. A spec sheet led by a top-shelf system on a chip and anchored by one of the biggest batteries you can pack into a phone. And, praise the penmanship gods, an S Pen with a left-side silo to stick it in. Samsung always ups the game when it ships a new stylus, and this year is no exception. The pen latency, that's the lag time between when you start a pen stroke and when the display reflects it, has been reduced from 9 milliseconds to 2.8. That makes it much faster not just than its predecessor, but also the iPad Pro and its Apple Pencil. I only got to test it for a minute before moving on, but there wasn't even a hint of hesitancy when I jotted a few quick notes at the hands-on. Of course, you've also got all the classic S Pen features as well, from handwriting translation in 88 languages to Samsung's Pen Up social art platform, if you're more confident in your doodles than I and you'd like to distribute them. Now, while the pen's soft-touch coating is comfortable to hold, its color is a dull, dark gray, barely more muted than the colors Samsung chose for the Ultra itself. I asked the company what prompted the abandonment of a bold choice like Mystic Bronze for these comparatively tame tones, and it basically said it wanted to go for a more sophisticated look. Fair enough. I like the anti-fingerprint satin finish on the Gorilla Glass Victus Plus, and the colors will probably be quite attractive to many folks. But personally, I can't get behind this new camera array, which takes the overrated scourge of minimalism to its inevitable, senseless extreme. Companies like HMD's Nokia were better at balancing this many lenses on a smartphone. Others, like LG Mobile, knew how to deploy them in an artful way. To me, this just looks unfinished. It causes the device to wobble on a tabletop just like a comparably sized camera bump would, so why not restore the domino? And as you can see, it's also great at picking up dust. Now, if you don't agree or you don't care about the aesthetics, well, that's great news, because all these lenses solve one of the few long-standing problems with the Galaxy Note line. The Note often had a less capable camera than its Galaxy S siblings. That truth only became more pronounced with the introduction of the Galaxy S20 Ultra from 2020 and its insanely powerful telephoto camera, which was refined in last year's S21 Ultra into something I've really come to rely on for those times I need more reach, like this air show I'll always remember from last summer. Now, this new hardware is very similar to that prior generation, with 3x, 10x, and ultra-wide cameras augmenting the primary shooter. But Samsung's focus this year was on improving night mode. In low light, the camera can use a technique called Nona binning to combine 9 pixels into 1 to improve light gathering. Now, that part isn't new. What's new is that at the same time, the phone can take a full-resolution image using all 108 megapixels on the primary camera and composite that megapicture together with the binned image. Theoretically, that should offer the best of both worlds in sharpness and dynamic range. But remember, I only got to spend an hour with the phone for this hands-on, so just like the other new features like the improved video stabilization and the upgraded portrait mode that Samsung says should be tougher to trip up with wild haircuts, well, stay tuned for the full review. And frankly, folks, I didn't really need more time with the phone in this first look because the rest of the upgrades are pretty predictable. You'll be happy to know that 45-watt charging has returned, following its inexplicable removal last year. Wireless charging is unchanged at 15 watts. Meh. Dust and water resistance is unchanged at IP68. Good. And while there's still no removable storage, there are 4 separate options for integrated storage, topping out at a terabyte. Yay! Now, on the disappointment docket, the fingerprint sensor under the display is the old model, instead of the new crazy fast one fitted to devices like the Lights Phone 1, and the selfie camera isn't under the display, which puts this phone behind others from ZTE and Samsung's own Galaxy Fold 3. I won't know how I really feel until the full review, which I'm starting work on today. But my first impression is that Samsung's smartphone lineup makes sense again. As I said, by the end of its life, the Galaxy Note wasn't really making a strong case for its existence, while the Galaxy Ultra seemed to rely too heavily on its camera to stand out. By blending the strengths of each, the new Ultra finally feels like a finished thought. And with a starting price of about $1,200, it slots in perfectly between the smaller S22s and the ultra-premium Galaxy Fold 3 that tops out the lineup. The S22 Ultra will launch officially on February 25th, and my review is coming soon. To make sure you don't miss it, be sure to subscribe to The Mr. Mobile on YouTube and follow me at the same handle on Instagram. I'm thinking about doing a live unboxing there when my review sample arrives. This video was filmed at a press event hosted by Samsung in New York City, but the company had no editorial input into its contents, nor did it provide compensation in exchange for its production. They're seeing it for the first time right alongside you. Until next time, I'm Michael Fisher. Thanks for watching. And stay mobile, my friends.